everybody. Welcome back to the Align Team Podcast. Today we have Michele DiStefano. Did I pronounce that right?
That's fine.
That's fine. How do you pronounce it?
So we can pronounce it in two ways, but we don't need to go down there. When I got engaged, it was DiStefano. And then I pointed out to my husband that his father said DiStefano. So now he likes to say DiStefano.
So welcome back.
We have
Michele DiStefano, which isn't probably an Irish last name, right?
Yeah, very Irish.
Very Irish
absolutely.
of her. And we're super excited because the Madison Group, Align, we're tying things together. We're trying to figure out how do we take everything that you're doing insanely well, everything that we're doing insanely well, and just leveling everything up, both for the agents that, you know, are already in our ecosystem or are going to be joining under your ecosystem in your world.
Yeah, so it actually took me a while to wrap my head around all that. But, you know, because I have built out all my systems and models and, you know, we're using most of the same things you're using.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Brett, why didn't you come to me before? Because, you know, I spent all that time and all that money building everything out. Like OTC is the greatest thing on the planet.
Yep.
But it's a lot to build.
Yeah.
And you know, you built it for like a year and a half. I built it for like a year and a half. And now that I got it all dialed in, you know, you come talking to me and I'm like, oh, okay. And you know, the thing is that you've got a bigger team, so you have far more staff. I've been running thin on my operations for a long time. I, as you know, now have Alexis, my daughter. She left nursing after 8 years at NYU, surgical ICU nurse, NP, the whole thing. Because after she had her second daughter, she, you know, realized that before the kids got up in the morning, she was gone.
Yep.
She didn't get home until after they went to bed at night. And so she left nursing to be with her kids. And I, you know, she came in to work with me. She always talked about taking over my business one day.
Yeah.
And so it felt very natural. And she is an amazing integrator. I'm the visionary. She's the integrator. I do love systems and I love to get into the systems.
Yep.
Like I need to know how everything works. And as long as I have the right people and I know they know what they're doing, I'm fine letting it go. Like
Yeah.
for a lot of people as team leaders, it's really hard to let go. People used to say, oh, you don't want to let go of anything. I do if I'm confident enough in you.
Yeah.
So, you know, fast forward, that's another thing. Fast forward, you know, in talking to you guys, you know, Alexi and I are spending so much time working on the business.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time to sell or talk to agents or, you know, anything that I really want to do. Like I love the systems, but I don't need to touch them if somebody, you know, if we've got enough bandwidth
Right.
to not touch them.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, it took me a little while to wrap my head around it, but it's great. You know, you're great. Jen's great. Juliana's great. Omar's great. You know, I love it. And now Alexis is part of that leadership team too. So, you know, on my way down here, or when I was getting ready this morning, I'm listening to the systems call.
Yeah.
And it was fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's like,
you
what
know,
are we going to do with all our free time now?
Yeah, hopefully. I haven't gotten there yet because now you stole her away from me, so I don't have any help.
No.
But yeah, so we're working on that.
Yeah.
And you know, we have the same upline.
Yeah.
Fast forward's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in real estate for 29 years and I never had anybody to learn from.
Yeah.
You know, until Chris talked to me about eXp, and I'm like, yeah. I told my team, I'm like, Chris wants to talk to me about eXp. I've never heard of this company. There's no way I'd ever go there. Forget it. It'll be a good laugh.
Yeah.
And it took somebody that I highly respected 10 months to get me to go to the last company and, you know, to learn those elusive systems and models. And that was an epic fail.
Yeah.
You know, they're good at their big events. And if you fly across the country and pay somebody a lot of money, they're great.
Yeah.
But nobody in the market centers has any idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And to build those systems and models, it was impossible.
Yeah.
And, Chris explained everything. And I came about a month after you guys, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
It is beyond anything I've ever seen in real estate. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Fast forward movement is pouring onto us all the time.
Yeah.
If I'm going to say anything to realtors out there, it's going to be like, who's teaching you? I never had anybody to train me. And now at eXp, I can sell over 100 homes a year after year, but I never had anybody to help me grow, right? If you're not the dumbest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, you know? And another reason that I wanted to come over here because, like Jen's talking to me and she's telling me about things that I don't do. Like, I'm not a salesy person.
Yeah.
So I don't work my sphere.
Yeah.
All these years, I've never, ever worked my sphere because to me, it felt too salesy.
Right.
And I'm not that person. If I can't be genuine, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I have to feel like I'm always doing the right thing. Like my team's tagline is building beautiful lives.
Yeah.
And I say whether I'm doing it for a seller, a buyer, another agent, or a perfect stranger on the street. If I don't make your life better after you meet me, I failed. And that's not okay.
Yeah.
And I've taught my whole team to do that. They know how to educate their clients. They know how to protect them, advise them. And we will walk away at the last minute. We will kill a deal because we're not there about getting the deal. We're there to get the right home
What's
for the
best.
buyer
Yeah.
or what's best for the seller. And, that is our focus.
Yeah.
And that's why that's our tagline. But, with fast forward, getting back to that, they pour into us so much.
Yeah.
And they give us all the secret sauce.
Yeah. They're
Like,
like an
literally.
open playbook. Here's what we do. Here's
It's
this, here's
amazing.
that.
And you don't have to go through and, like there's great agents out there. And maybe they're like, I got it knocked.
Right.
I don't need to go to you guys.
Yeah.
Why do I need you? But you do, because you can do so much more
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And that's what this is about.
Yeah.
And I love that. It feels good. It feels right. And
We got a phone going off over there.
Silent, not do not
No,
disturb,
and that's so true. Like I always say too, like if somebody is really, if you're a real estate agent and you're really happy where you are right now and everything's working insanely well, stay there. Don't come to us. But if you're a real estate agent that wants to hammer down on the accelerator, you want to grow, you want to be a better version of yourself, you want access to an incredible office, you want access to incredible lead accounts, incredible CRMs, incredible tech stacks that really help you move through the world in most like efficient and effective way, then we're a really good solution.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of realtors, they just want to stay put and they want to be complacent and they want to stay where they're at. And that's the fun thing about like we have fast forward movement that's taught both of us so much stuff.
So much.
And then with what we're doing right now with Jeff Baum and you and Jamie Meringue and all of that, it's like, I want all of us sitting at that table together, sharing ideas, sharing concepts. And I truly believe that if we bring the best leaders in the industry together for this overlay, it's almost like fast forward movement 2.0, where it's like, let's drop down a little lower where we're kind of all running a team together. And then with that, it's like, it's very difficult to compete with where you bring up like, okay, there's Eric Eckhart was on at a 9:30 live prospecting training while I was in here was shooting with Omar. And then we wrapped at
and Jen and Omar and Lexi
at 10
and
a.m.
Juliana
and then
are like 10 to 2.
Yeah,
or
they're on
1,
another
12
Zoom
or,
doing things.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what's happening right now. Yeah, there's just
I'm not up on everything.
Lori just has me sit in this chair and I'm just like, okay, I'll talk for quite some time. No, but that too is like figuring out the person, like the human mind can only take on so much stimulus at any given time. And really like repurposing what is the highest and best use of your time is what is that accelerant and really helps you like develop and helps me develop and get to that next level. So like we see it from, a staffing standpoint where we've had conversations with the staff to see what their day looks like and help coach them on how to make that more efficient and effective. And then they level up. And then you see from the brand new agent. I had a question earlier today. What does a brand new agent come in? And I was giving like tips and tricks. And if you do that consistently and you've mastered that, then we level up and we're going to get into price point conversations and we're going to get better leads and we're going to do this with your sphere instead and start figuring out different language patterns and whatnot to make sure that they're playing at a level 10. And that really is like, for you, it's okay. If Lexi's getting pulled this way a little bit, what do we really need to make sure Lexi's still doing over there so that she doesn't get pulled away, so that nothing suffers. We want everything to just keep getting better and better and better. And then it's like me and you going out saying, okay, great. Here's this $120 million producer in Bergen County. Let's go get dinner with that person and let's figure out what they're up to and see if there's a way that we can add value to their lives.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like that, along with, we still sell homes. That's like the core of like what we do. But I've always found that people can be really good at recruiting, training, or selling homes. And it's very difficult to be good at all three of them or to put 100% of your focus into all three of them.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you're great at all of them.
Yep.
You cannot focus on all of it and do it all perfectly.
Yeah.
Right. So for all the women out there, we're moms. We learn how to multitask.
Yep.
Right. And men always say you can't multitask. So here's the thing. Yes. Can I wipe down the counters? Because I used to tell my husband I can multitask. Yes, I can clean the kitchen and talk to you and have a conversation.
Right.
But I can't negotiate a contract and fix the system at the same time.
Right.
It depends on what you're doing. If you're doing something mindless, sure, you can do it. But, even with, different things that you've done, like, one of the guys that used to work for me, he used to say, Michelle, why do you go to classes? You know more than any realtor I've ever met. I'm like, if you think you're the smartest person in the room, you're not.
Yeah.
So, no, you always have to be growing. And especially in the world today, right? The world's moving so fast and there are so many things happening. And if you don't keep up with all those changes, you're not going to be able to keep up. You're not going to be able to compete. And, like, we'll be on calls with you or Jen or Omar or whoever. Yoon mentioned something the other day when we were talking. And she's like, well, this house is overpriced. We know that. We know what it should be. Brett said if, you're not getting any offers, drop it 5%. If you're not getting any attention or interest at all, drop it 10%. And she quoted you.
Yeah.
You know what? That's great. I never said that.
Yeah.
So, when you bring a lot of...
She was listening.
She was listening. And, when you bring a lot of smart people together, you can grow quicker.
Yeah.
You can handle everything quicker.
Yeah.
Lexi and I were training everybody, doing all the systems, doing open to close, doing it all.
Yeah.
And I love that. I had my own brokerage for 10 years. Obviously, I love it.
Yeah.
But I do see the value in partnering and being together and collaborating. And, you're going to think of something I didn't think of. And I'm going to think of something you didn't think of, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's the value. And I do really enjoy it.
Yeah. No, we love that.
I'm looking forward to diving all the way in.
No, we love that. We've got good stuff brewing. There's definitely, and that too, like you've laid such a strong foundation. I feel like for a team of your size with the agents and stuff that you have, it really is incredible how built out your tech is and how built out your systems really were. So that's why, like, for us too, it's very exciting to have somebody who thinks the way that you think and wants to. Jeff Bonk too likes to understand a lot of things and how they're working. I just want them to work. And I jokingly say, like, there's magical elves behind the scenes and all these fantastic things happen.
The Wizard of Oz is behind the scenes.
I dumb it down. I know. I actually joke with a lot of people too, where it'll be like, hey, what's this? And I'm like, you guys kind of forget that this whole foundation, I did have to know how everything worked at one point in time too, because I set up the Google Drives, I set up all the, like, everything. We're on Gmail domains. I set up the Boomtown. I set up the Follow Up Boss. So like I dumb it down, but I definitely know more about that than I want to know about it. But there's so much that goes on, and you guys had still have such a complex operating system, which is really cool to see, because we know that I've already heard you're using one system that we're not using.
Oh, interface.
Interface.
Yeah.
I think we use Zapier instead, right? It's a similar,
Yeah.
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 So like that, it's like, okay, great, Jen, let's explore
Yeah. No,
interface.
I went to Juliana and I'm like, well, you're paying for Zaps. And, um, and I explained like, this is really awesome. But they're also doing their 2.0 now. So, I said, let's just sit tight
Yeah.
and let's wait till he finishes 2.0. I've loved regular interface
Yeah.
because agents never had to leave follow-up boss.
Yeah.
And, agents need to stay in one spot and they don't need to touch anything else.
Yeah.
And so we handled the rest of it. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. We're always keeping other things in mind. And right now, what like Jen and I are playing around with a whole, it's pretty cool. We'll hopefully roll it out soon, but a whole, like, and we can plug you into these meetings
Yeah.
too, but a whole intranet where like it's a single login.
Yeah.
So think
Oh,
about
yeah.
like you
No,
log
it's
into this
great.
one thing and then you're connected to Follow Up Boss, you're connected to your Google Drive, you're connected to your email, and everything like so, and all of the trainings
Oh,
are
even
showing.
more than it is now.
So outside of
okay.
interface, we're playing with another.
No, I meant your intranet. Your intranet's
Oh yeah,
great.
our
My
intranet's
team came
yeah.
in and like,
It's an organized place for everything to
Yeah.
be. But like our 2.0 version of that is you log in, maybe there's an app component with it, and just making sure that like it just bulletproofs the process for the
Right.
agent. If somebody's onboarding, they log in, it shows them where they're at in their steps, what needs to be completed. So like you don't have to go to this email for that or this for
Right.
that. And I don't know, there's just a lot of fun things happening. And that, yeah. So to that point, like if you want to hop in on that meeting, that's like we can all collaborate on
Yeah.
these things. And there is some cool tech coming along. Now, what year
I
did
love it.
What year did you get licensed?
After my second daughter was born, so that was 95.
Okay.
95. Yeah, because I've been in 29 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I got in 2007, and
Yeah.
I always tell people I was still on a flip phone with no.
Yeah.
I had to get a BlackBerry Pearl.
Oh, wait.
Because
Are you kidding? I had pager.
yeah.
I had a pager, then I had the big car phone. Yeah, so go ahead.
And I'm just saying, so like I got the tail
I'm
end of that
old.
where we were still carbon copy signatures. We'd sign listings on
Yeah.
the hood of the
Oh,
car
yeah.
and stuff.
Triplicate. Yeah.
There was no electronic signatures. They weren't
Right.
allowed. Wasn't even wasn't even a thing. Facebook did not accept advertising money at the time. Facebook didn't exist when you started. The internet didn't really exist when you started. But it's just crazy to see how far it's come. And to your point earlier, it is really going right now with AI and the overlays and
Yeah.
stuff. The stuff that we're seeing that like our friends over at Barra are doing with
Yeah.
Justin, and we're just
Love
like,
Barra.
yeah, we're
Love
like, wow,
them.
this is next level. And to what you've done too, it's like we need to tiptoe in all these tech stacks and kind of see like, okay, should we trial this a little bit? Let's see if there's something to be done there. Or are we going to pass on this? We don't think it's that great. And with our size, with our scale, we're getting opportunities to beta test a lot of these things now too.
Yeah.
So that's super
And I
cool.
love to poke holes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like too, culturally, like we have a cool group of agents, in the whole organization, and ours and yours, where like we could try something out. And if it doesn't work perfectly, they'll be like, all right, it was
Yeah.
cool. We tried it.
Yeah, just try it. Beta test the agents also. Like, can't give it to everybody.
Yeah.
Because the ones that are a little older, I'm old, but I love tech.
Yeah.
But some of the other agents, their head would just spin around.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
You just have to offer it to a few.
Yeah, it's there's like the A, B. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, it worked
Yeah.
here. Now we can roll it out to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, no, I really appreciate you coming on. I think we're gonna do a lot of fun things together. You bring so much to the table, the tech, the systems. Lexi's fantastic. Your agents are fantastic. You have your own Zillow Flex account that's fantastic. I think we're gonna do a lot of really good things together. And what I'm most excited for too is like the office is beautiful. I know that you can house and train and really love on agents in the way that they deserve to be loved on throughout Bergen County. But what's also cool with us, with you, is if an agent has interest in other locations too. We're in Red Bank, Morristown, Hoboken, Owing Mills, Maryland, North Carolina, Florida, and Chicago with like full CRM, everything
Right.
set up on the back end too. So,
And your work in New York too.
and we do, yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll do PA in New York just as like
Yeah.
the spillover, but there's no, what's good about that is that actually runs off of our same YLOPA website because it's
Right.
an extension, it's
Right.
drivable.
Right.
When we jump to a different, we jump over an MLS, we have to get a separate license for it. So we have the licenses up everywhere.
Yeah. So we do too.
Yeah.
And like, we have agents that are working New York. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're going to grow up there too.
No, I
And
dig it.
I actually have something going on right now. I think we'll be able to grow Connecticut.
There we go. That's on my radar. It's on my radar. Connecticut, Long Island. What was it Howard Dean where he's like, we're going, which he got canceled and for that. And now what's going on in the political world is you can't just yell a bunch of states and get canceled. But don't get me started on that. So
Okay.
I was just thinking of like, we're going to South Carolina. Yeah. But at any rate, no, there's a lot of good things happening. If an agent wanted to get in touch with you, if they're in any of our locations, again, that's the cool thing. They could be in Florida, they can be in North Carolina, they could still get all the love, they could still be under your leadership and make sure that you're, plugging them into all the systems. What's the best way for somebody to get in contact with you?
So you can always drop by my office. I'm right next to Dairy Queen in Wyckoff, right on Franklin Avenue.
I've had my first blizzard in the last 15 years was there
Next
because
door.
of that office. So thank you.
You're welcome.
For allowing me to do that.
Yes, fortunately, I'm too busy to walk over. But no, it's great. And you can call the eXp office, the Wyckoff office. We are a legal branch and licensed with the Real Estate Commission. So we are official on the MLS.
Yep.
And so you can find me.
Cool. I love it. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, so good to be here.
All right.
All right. Bye.